Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles Sabansi. I want to welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we're going to have another pretty interesting show for you guys. But before we get into it, please make sure you like the list, like the video, and subscribe to the channel. I'm already talking about the list. Anyway, we got a pretty interesting show here for you guys today. Now, Dr. J has been making a lot of noise over the last few days because he recently gave his top 10 player ranking, of all time, right? And various people have been saying various things about this. I've seen it all over Instagram, and different people are essentially saying different things about it, right? But today, in particular, one particular NBA player, in this case, Trey Young, he actually has some things to say about Dr. J's list. So I'm actually getting this from fadeawayworld.net. The list is all over the place. I just got it from here. So let me just read a little bit what the article has to say. It says, Julius Erving is undoubtedly one of the greatest NBA players of all time. The Philadelphia 76ers legend recently named the 10 best NBA players in league history. Dr. J shockingly snubbed LeBron James and Kobe Bryant from the list. Most NBA fans were shocked after seeing the list. Apart from fans, Atlanta Hawks superstar Trey Young also couldn't believe Julius Erving's list. So let me just get into his list first of all. Here are the players that he that he believes are the 10, and I'm going to explain what he had to say. So his list consists of, and I don't think it's any particular order, Jerry West, Oscar Robinson, Elgin Baylor, Wilt Chamberlain, Bill Russell, Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Magic Johnson, Karl Malone, and Tiny Archibald. That's his list, right? And actually, I was doing some research and I found an article on Yahoo Sports where he basically gave the reasoning behind his list. But before we get into that, this video is brought to you by our sponsor Aura, who's also the official sponsor of the T-Wolves. Do you know what the fastest growing crime in America is today? It's identity theft. Imagine trying to log into your email only to see that your password has been changed. Then you start getting weird notifications from your bank and credit cards only to find out that all of your personal and sensitive information has been totally compromised. If you think it can happen to you and your family, just know that in 2020, over 49 million Americans were victims to identity theft, costing them a combined $56 billion. That is why we are excited to partner with Aura, who's the sponsor of this video. Aura is the #1 identity theft and financial fraud protection. Aura monitors the dark web and alerts you if any of your passwords and accounts have been breached. And funny enough, after using Aura, I discovered some of my credentials were floating around in the dark web, and the app showed me exactly when and where the breach happened. In addition, Aura allows you to set spending alerts, and they'll notify you of any suspicious transactions. Aura is 4 times faster than any of its competitors in alerting you if someone is trying to open a credit card or obtain a loan using your name. And remember this, every 14 seconds, someone becomes a victim of identity fraud. Don't let it happen to you. Now click the link in the description and try Aura for free for 2 weeks and see if any of you or your family's personal information has been compromised. Start your free trial at aura.com/dreamerspro. And when you try Aura by using the link in the description below, also know that you're supporting this channel. Thank you. So let me just get into this article. Julius Erving has had the 5 best players of all time ever since he was 15. He's not changing it now for the modern game. Dr. J sat down in an interview with Joe D'Angelo, and she asked him, Joy D'Angelo, and she asked him about his top 10 players list. His answers is not what you expect. I have 5 guys who are untouchable: Bill Russell, Wilt Chamberlain, Oscar Robinson, Jerry West, and Elgin Baylor. That's my all-time best team. Everybody else has to be the second or third team, and I made this decision when I was 15 years old. I'm sticking with it now, all of these years later. There is no order. I think West and Robertson would be in the backcourt. Elgin Baylor would be in the front court with Wilt and Bill Russell. The next group of guys would be Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Michael Jordan, Irvin Magic Johnson, probably Karl Malone. I would argue with my son where Tim Duncan belongs, and he belongs ahead of Karl Malone for sure. I'm taking Karl Malone at the last position, and I like Tiny Archibald. So that was his reasoning. And then Trey Young, he saw this list and he posted on Twitter, "This gotta be fake with all due respect." So that's what Trey Young said. So you heard what he had to say, right? You heard what he had to say. First of all, A lot of these lists are subjective. I always question people, especially a lot of these sports publications, when a lot of them have the exact same list with the exact same order, very, very similar order. I question that. A lot of that seems forged. A lot of that seems intentional. But generally, when you go from person to person, people have different lists, right? From person to person. For example, here's my top 10. It may change from now and then depending on what happens. But the majority of the players are always going to be there. And this is in no particular order. You got Jordan, I got Kobe, I got LeBron, I got Kareem, I got Shaq, I got Hakeem, I got Duncan, I got Magic, I got Bird, and I have Bill Russell, right? That's my list. If you notice, it is absolutely, is quite different from Dr. J's list, except we have a few players in common, which is Michael Jordan, Irvin Magic Johnson, Bill Russell, and Kareem. The next 6 players are all different. But then someone could say, well, he's hating. But let's look at somebody else. Another NBA great. Let's look at Charles Barkley. Charles Barkley's top 10 consists of, in this case, it's in order. If I'm not mistaken. Oh no, I was just going to read this list. I don't know if it's in order or not. No, it's in order. It's in order. He has Michael Jordan number 1, Oscar Robertson number 2, Wilt Chamberlain number 3, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar number 4, Bill Russell number 5, Kobe Bryant number 6, LeBron James number 7, Tim Duncan number 8, Hakeem Olajuwon number 9, and Jerry West number 10. Right? So that's his order. Now, let me just say this. And I think it's important that we say this. As a Kobe Bryant fan, am I bothered that Kobe didn't make his list? Not really. Not really. It doesn't bother me to that extent. I think the people, based on the comments that I've read and things people are saying, I think it's LeBron fans that are really, really upset about this. And listen, guys, listen, people are going to have different lists and people don't need to feel the way you feel about a particular player. That's his list. Stephen Curry just came out with a top 5 and he had Kobe at the small forward and it became this big uproar. Even Rob Parker was discussing this. Oh, why is it disrespect? It's not disrespect. It's his list. It's his list. And, we need to stop, scrutinizing people for, oh, well, why didn't you put this guy? Why didn't you put that guy? People are going to have different lists, especially when you're dealing with people in different, from different eras. But it doesn't, there's some people that from this era that are old, not from this, that are living in present day, that are older people that will still have certain players in the modern era ahead. So I think it depends from person to person. And I'm not here to persecute these people. My only thing is, I don't like when certain players are just flat out disrespected. But in this particular case, you just saw Dr. J's list is quite different from Charles Barkley's list. And I guarantee if you ask, Jamal Crawford, if you ask Steven Jackson, if you ask Jimmy Jackson, if you ask, Jay Williams, if you ask other players, they're going to have different lists, right? So to me, I have no issue with it. It is what it is. So that's my list. So the question we have for the audience is essentially this. List in order the 10 greatest players to you. Whatever your top 10 is, list it in the comment section and I'll go through it and I'll try to respond to as many comments as possible. And again, if you want today's full show, the full podcast, be sure to follow us in the Dreamers Pro podcast. We have it linked in the comment section. You can follow us on Spotify or iTunes. Thank you guys for your attention. We catch you guys on the next one. Peace.